I'm Simon Ellin, Chief Executive of the Recycling Association, and I'm here today to talk to Neil Govan, Sales Director of DS Smith, and we're going to talk about the importance of quality to the DS Smith Group. Yeah, Neil, why is quality important to DS Smith?
Well, quality is extremely important for DS Smith. As the biggest producer of finished paper in the UK, we have a continual need to supply our paper mills with the correct and the best quality raw materials. Added to that, the customers for our packaging solutions are looking for higher standards more than ever, and therefore we have to make sure that as the front end of that supply engine, we are focusing on materials which match our stringent quality standards. We also have to make sure that these raw materials comply with environmental and industry standards such as EN 643, the European list of standard grades of paper and card for recycling, and that is the minimum quality that we require. Poor quality feedstocks also damage our paper production plants. A great example of that would be collections which are mixed with glass. Any collections which have shards of glass, which can happen in mixed recycling collections, damage the machinery. And clearing those blockages caused by non-conforming materials, it makes the production less efficient, and it also adds a lot of cost into our process. The same would be with excess plastics. It adds cost into the process, and that's why we always prefer to purchase source segregated materials for our production. And I would say lastly, now that we've entered the export market directly, we need to ensure that any paper that we export matches and complies with all regulations. But for me, it's about more than compliance as well. We want to be the leader and make sure that we are making the best quality raw material, whether that be for domestic or for the export markets. Yeah, I personally have had a long relationship with the export markets, China in particular. And I think at the moment we have a big challenge, but I would also say opportunity, to ensure that these markets see us as a top quality supplier of raw material. Yeah, if we can ensure that we do always ship the best material possible, it puts the UK at the top of the map in terms of where these customers are going to end up buying the material from. We saw the positive effects that Operation Green Fence had several years ago, and I have no doubt that with the new Operation National Sword, we'll continue to see positive effects as well.
What are the quality problems you face with the material you receive?
Well, DS Smith has traditionally sourced a lot of material from the retail and commercial sector, and that's generally been of good quality. The biggest challenge we face is material which comes from the municipal streams, particularly mixed papers. We see that the quality can vary significantly, especially if it comes through commingled collections. For me, it's all about engagement with the public and engagement with the local councils, and making sure that we have that positive message of recycling, but it's communicated in a clear and consistent manner. Yeah, the biggest contaminants we see in the mixed papers are plastic cans and bottles, which generally have a higher value than the paper that's being collected, and we need to try and eliminate those from the paper streams. You know, as an industry, I think we can help residents, and I think we can help consumers find it easier and easier to recycle if we keep that message consistent.
And Neil, how does DS Smith work with suppliers to improve quality?
Well, all prospective suppliers are visited and vetted before we take any material into the mill. We will then look to arrange some trial loads going into Kemsley. The majority of loads going through Kemsley are checked for quality and for moisture. And ultimately we'll bring them in, supply feedback to the suppliers. If the quality doesn't quite meet the standards that we expect, then we will discuss it further with the suppliers. If needs be, we'll go to their site, visit them, talk through their process and understand maybe where the blockages are or what's happening to the quality, and try and iron out the problems that way. If at the end of the day the quality doesn't meet the standard, then we just won't buy from that supplier. Yeah, the process is the same for us whether we are buying from a large retailer or a smaller third-party source, so we can keep a consistent process and a consistent message. Yeah, when we work directly with waste producers, such as retailers, we engage directly with their recycling and waste management processes. For us, it's all about a consistent message. It's about training. It's about making sure that we offer recycling guides and tailored communications to these guys, so we don't only maximise the quantity of recycling that these guys are doing, but we maximise the quality as well.
And looking at the bigger picture, what do you think would make the biggest single difference to improve quality?
For us, it's source segregation. DS Smith has always been pretty clear on this message, and that is if municipal paper fibre was collected separately to other recyclables, it would make a huge difference to the quality. Yeah, source segregation is a message that we've championed for a long time and will continue to do so. Yeah, RAP provide guidance last year, and it's what we've been saying for a number of years, and that is that if paper fibre it can be affected by the dregs from cans and bottles when it goes through collection vehicles and sorting systems, and no matter how efficient your sorting system is, we will still see some bottles and cans in the paper that we receive from materials recycling facilities, which ultimately adds cost into our whole process. But it is a balance, and we have to make sure that we get that balance between source segregation and also ease of use for the public. Yeah, certain parts of the media will like to jump on the fact that some areas have 5 or 6 bins for recycling, and we do have to view that against the one bin scenario. You know, it's about getting that balance right, as I said. For me, it's about the right amount of segregation, but versus making sure we don't overcomplicate recycling for the residents as well.
Yeah. And finally, the $64,000 question: what did DS Smith think of the Recycling Association Quality First campaign?
Well, I think it's another important initiative from the industry to try to improve quality. Yeah, DS Smith was part of the campaign for real recycling, which campaigned for better quality recycler, and we've done that consistently. The Quality First campaign, for me, I think is another important step in the right direction, because you have stakeholders from all parts of the industry who are buying into this, including the export community, the waste management companies, as well as the domestic mills. Yeah, I think for me, for too long, a certain portion of the industry has preached the right message, but they've not lived up to it. You know, I think now that we have the opportunity, the focus and the support behind this campaign, it's now time to start practicing exactly what we preach. Everything starts with quality, and this has to be the first priority. You know, at the end of the day, as recyclers, we are looking to provide a raw material into a production process. For DS Smith, that's into the paper making and then into the packaging production. Like any manufacturers will tell you, if you want to make a great product, you have to start with the best quality raw materials.